we're gonna get started here in a sec because people are still coming in. So. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get rolling with this. What I what I'm gonna do? A lot of this information, a lot of y'all might have heard already. But what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just go through kind of a brief description of basically the nature of disease and how it comes about. Um, the things that contribute to it, to all these diseases. And one of the things you're going to find is really not that complicated, and it basically is tied to more or less one specific system being compromised. So the way we're going to start this out is describing that system, and then I'm going to go through a bunch of different aspects of it, and then we're going to open it up to questions and answers and comments. There'll be a couple testimonies here, and yeah, that's how we're going to go with it. So the lymphatic system, our bodies, you have a circulatory system that brings blood to every organ and cell in your body, and you also have a lymphatic system that carries waste away from all the cells and organs and systems of the body. And a good way to describe your lymphatic system and your circulatory system, your blood system, would be to describe like a house. It has fresh water coming in, then you have sewage water going out. And if your sink gets clogged, well, you have to wash dishes, but your sink gets clogged, then you got dirty water backing up in the sink, then the dishes begin to back up in the sink, and the dishes backing up in the sink would be the equivalent of a tumor forming. And then when the dishes keep on piling up in the sink, and then the next thing you know, you see roaches on it and bugs on it, that'd be the equivalent of cancer. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give y'all, we're going to do like a little example so you can actually visualize what's happening in the body when it begins to get compromised, the lymphatic system. But that's kind of a good analogy of it. Your kidneys are a key part to the lymphatic system, and your kidneys are the equivalent of a drain valve, okay? So if your kidneys are backed up, so the drain valve is backed up, the alternate path of elimination is your skin, okay? So that's a good thing to take note of. How foods affect your lymphatic system. In a nutshell, fruits cleanse. They cleanse the body and they hydrate the body, okay? The vegetables build. They help build the body up. The other foods like meat, dairy, and beans, stuff like that, they tend to clog the body up in varying degrees. Meats clog the body up the least, okay? And, you know, even us at our assembly, we eat meat, you know what I'm saying? But we eat it very sparingly. This is biblical. There's actually Bible verses, I'll pull some of them up, that talk about how to consume meat. And let me pull it up real quick. Okay. So this is in Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, and it is okay. So we're going to go Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 37, verse 27. We're going to start at verse 27. It says, "My son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. For all things are not profitable for all men, neither have every soul pleasure in everything. Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and surfeiting, which surfeiting means overeating, will turn into cholera. And cholera is, the definition here means anger, irritability, or a general bad temperament, okay? By surfeiting surfeiting again means overeating, and that's overeating any food, you know what I'm saying? By surfeiting have many perished, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life, okay? Recently I found some more dietary Bible verses in the book of Sirach, which I might hit them later. I don't, but those are the ones I wanted to bring out there. Let me go back. Okay. So there's a way to eat, and the way we try to eat is as close to what the word says. A lot of people overlook it. Your diet should be like, and as you heard me describe, fruits cleanse the body, vegetables build the body, the other foods tend to clog the body up, okay? And those foods are, like I said, meat, grains. Grains are the worst one for clogging the body up and wreaking havoc in the body. So grains and beans. Beans are very hard on the kidneys. And they got some beans, they call them kidney beans. And if you saw what they eat a whole bunch of them, and you'll feel why they call them kidney beans. Okay? They're named properly. You think they're good for your kidneys, but it overwhelms your kidneys with a lot of protein. Okay? And we'll go into that later. So knowing that about foods, in the American society, if you look at the food pyramid, at the bottom of the pyramid, on the foundation of it, they're telling you to eat all these grains, and it couldn't be further from the truth. It should be the exact opposite. The grain should be at the top of the pyramid, like a little piece, and at the bottom of that pyramid should be fruit, and then on top of that should be vegetables. Then on top of that should be meat, and then on top of that, the other foods and stuff like that. But of course, that food pyramid is put out by the Food and what administration? It's a hustle. Hey, check this out. I was talking to someone, and they were telling me about the retirement homes, because he works in a pharmacy, and he was telling me how much drugs they send to these retirement homes for these people. And the people, when they check into the retirement home, they have to sign their custody of their resources, all their stuff over. And literally, and they put them on all these medications, and they're literally taking these people's retirements and giving them these drugs that are going to kill them slowly. So just about the time all your money gone, you dying from these drugs they got you on. You heard Pastor, he talked about how the sister who's caring for his mother, as she got her off all that medication, her health got better. It's real. So truly understanding how we need to be eating and what the benefit of these fruits, and how originally the Most High designed us to be consuming these fruits. And when you study how fruits, what they do when they get in your body, you can see that the Most High designed it that way. Fruits have like enzymes in them that help break them down for digestion, so your body really doesn't have to work that hard. Fruit comes with its own hydration to hydrate your body. Those foods that I said clog up your body, one of the things they do is pull the water out of your body in order for the food to be rehydrated and break down in your body. That's one of the things they do. We'll get into that later, so I wanted to bring that up. The big thing is what you find with disease and issues in the body is, like I said, it's always going to be something tied into the lymphatic system and the kidneys. The things that can affect the lymphatic system and the kidneys, it could be spiritual things can affect the lymphatic system and the kidneys. Caffeine can affect the lymphatic system and the kidneys. Diet can affect the lymphatic system and the kidneys. And if you got all three of them issues going on, that's 3 strikes, you out. Like, you're going to be wrestling. Eventually, something's going to be going on in your body. Somebody might say, well, how could something spiritual affect the lymphatic system and the kidneys? If you're walking around with bitterness, with unforgiveness, or other unrighteous mindsets, you're literally walking around in like a fight or flight mindset, like you're ready for some type of action. And what happens is it tells your body's system to shut down all unnecessary systems because we have to prepare for action. And some people, like if you walk around with just chronic bitterness over a relationship or something that happened, people are walking around like this 24/7. And what it does, like I said, it puts your body, you're constantly in this ready for action, tense mindset, and your body shuts down all unnecessary systems. And one of those unnecessary systems is your lymphatic system and your kidneys. Because if you're getting ready to fight a bear or you're getting ready to fight something, you don't need, you don't need your lymphatic system and all that stuff like that. But what happens, people walk around like this all the time. The other thing that does that is caffeine. Caffeine shuts those same systems down. The perceived energy boost is really your body in a fight or flight mindset. You have heightened awareness, you're real sharp and aware and everything like that. You have energy to your muscles and all that stuff. But the trade-off is you shut down your body's sewage system. And then you couple that with a bad diet that's clogging you up, and you got the perfect recipe for disease. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do, we're going to do I've done this before. I'm going to show you an example of literally how disease happens in the body. And then we're going to go into questions and answers, and knowing this, I'm going to show it to you visually. So knowing what I'm going to show you visually, it'll help you to see, okay, that's how you have hyperthyroidism. That's how tumors form. That's how you have arthritis or this or that or the other, okay? So what we're going to do, y'all right here, y'all in this area right here, just come on up, just stand over here, because I'm going to do the example right here. Yep, you too, yeah. And we're going to use the children. Let's get the children over here. We're going to have them help out with the example. So imagine, each of these chairs, you see all these chairs here? Each of these chairs is a cell. And everything in your body, is made up of cells. And what happens is as these cells operate and do their function, they excrete waste. Each cell puts waste out. And what happens in a normal body, if this cell puts out waste, it flows right out here into the lymphatic system, gets carried out of the body. So all these cells are putting out waste out. And this space here is called interstitial space, okay? All this space in between the chairs or whatever, that's what that space is called. So this could be, what we're going to do, I'm going to change it a little bit. This could be, because I'm going to give you an example of high blood pressure. A lot of people have high blood pressure, so I think that'd be a good example to give. Let's say this is a blood vessel right here, okay? And what happens, let's say you're consuming a high sugar diet and a very inflammatory diet of foods that clog you up. Well, the blood has to be maintained pure. Life is in the blood, so the pH level of the blood has to be maintained. So if you have a whole bunch of sugar in your blood, that sugar will it'll ferment, and it'll turn acidic if you're just consuming too much sugar. If you're eating all types of other unhealthy stuff, it's going to be in your bloodstream. And what the blood does to maintain its level is it will absorb stuff into the blood vessel wall so that it's not in the bloodstream. And what should happen, it absorbs it in the bloodstream, and then it'll send it out through the lymphatic system. But if you're overwhelming that system or you shut your lymphatic system down, I'm going to show you what happens. So y'all start coming through here. Come on, Shua. And y'all start going in there. Go in there, Shua. All right, so he's in there. Now, it's absorbing all this stuff. Stop, Shua. Don't go any further. We just moved the chairs. Keep going in there. And this is what happens. Stuff starts going in there. It starts clogging up, and more room has to be made. And theoretically, they're not walking forward. They're getting compressed in this area right here, and the wall of the blood vessel begins to expand in and contract in. Keep coming in here. Come up in here. Push the chairs over. And what's happening, the flow narrows and the blood pressure goes up. You see what I'm saying? And you start getting high blood pressure. Let's say it's not a blood vessel. Let's say this is your thyroid, and the thyroid begins backing up. And you see that the chairs are getting pushed against each other and stuff's getting pushed in. And then you got hyperthyroidism, depending on what it's pushing on in the thyroid, because it might push on the mechanism that controls the thyroid and it make the thyroid run faster. But eventually, it'll get so clogged up that it will go to hypothyroidism, where it goes slow and it's not functioning. But you could cleanse all that out. So I'm just letting y'all know that. If it's a tumor, all this waste begins to back up in there. And what happens, the body will send inflammation it'll send mucus and stuff to neutralize the inflammation. And because all this waste that's backing up is acidic, the body has to send mucus to encapsulate it all so it doesn't burn up all the other cells. And then they call it a tumor. And if it continues going like this, it'll keep getting bigger. And what they're finding now with cancer is you can literally, now what they say is almost like little parasites that eat something out of the cells and cause the cells to just start replicating uncontrollably. They don't know, that's a theory, they don't know exactly what it is, but when the body gets all backed up and agglomerated like that, cancer begins to form and the cells just start replicating themselves uncontrollably, and your lymphatic system is all backed up, so there's nowhere for it to go. And they call it cancer, and they're like, we're going to have to cut it out of you, and you have to drink this radioactive shit, and then they kill you anyway. You know what I'm saying? They kill you slowly. All right, y'all can sit down. Does that make sense? And any disease that y'all bring up, we can tie it right, literally back to that right there. Does that make sense? All right. Does anybody have any questions? Because now we're going to open up to questions. Who I got here? Let me see. Madison, you pass the mic around to the people, okay? So when he's done talking, it's on. Oh, it's not? Here, let me see. All right. Good.
Testing.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just about the example that you just gave. So the reason why it was the waste wasn't able to go out to the lymphatic system was because the sugar or the inflammation was stopping it from going to the lymphatic.
So there's a lot of things that can back up the lymphatic system, or a lot of ways it could happen. If you're eating an inflammatory diet, like let's take grains for instance. What happens when you eat grains are grasses. It's a grass. And it's not so much that grains are so horrible, it's just the amount we eat it in. And as you saw when I read the word, it said, be not insatiable in anything. We overeat, unknowingly, we overeat grains. And grains are grasses. And to name some, you got rice, sugar. Sugar cane is a type of grass. Wheat, flour, of course, that is wheat. Corn, it's in everything. You know what I'm saying? You go on and name them. And they put it in everything. Like, I picked up a thing of peanut butter, and it had sugar in it. I picked up some mayonnaise, and they had put, like, corn something in it. You see what I'm saying? If you're not aware, you're literally eating this stuff all the time, even when you think you're not. Oh, I don't eat bread anymore. But do you drink the juice from the store, or you eat that they're putting it in? You buy potato chips, they put it in there. So we're consuming so much grain. So, and I'm gonna answer your question. The issue, what happens is these grains weren't meant. We're not designed to digest them. If you look at the animals that consume grains, like a cow will eat the grass, then it'll swallow it, spit it back up, chew it up more, swallow it, and it has two stomachs, and that's what it takes to break them down. When we consume these grains, there's proteins in the grains that our body cannot break down. And one of the proteins in it, when it hits your gut lining, it tells your gut lining to loosen up and let in all these other strange proteins that are a part of these grains that we're eating. And those strange proteins, once they're inside your body like that, your organs and the systems in your body, they look similar to proteins that the body uses. So the organs and the systems in your body will use those proteins. And what happens, your immune system is like, whoa, something's not right. That's not the right protein. So the immune system will go and try to fight those proteins off. And then out there in the medical field, they call it autoimmune disease. But it's really just you eating all this grain, and it's wreaking havoc on your body because it's letting in all these strange proteins. So all these strange proteins inside your body cause your lymphatic system to have to work even harder. And we're eating we're eating like a breakfast sandwich for breakfast and pasta for lunch and some other type of bread for dinner, and your body's literally working 24/7 just to fight off the grains, let alone we're consuming all this protein. It's overwhelming the kidneys, and it's hitting them on different angles. So eventually, over years, the system begins to get bogged down and begins to back up in whatever particular area you're the weakest in. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's neurologically. Like when I grew up, I was diagnosed with so-called ADHD. But turns out, reflecting back, the diet I was on was so atrocious, you couldn't help but walk and not be able to concentrate. You know what I'm saying? Because it wreaked havoc on my brain. I eliminated the grains, and those symptoms went away. So there's someone, I won't go in detail, but there's someone where they were eating a certain type of food that really taxed a specific organ in their body. And they kept eating that type of food, and it was just overwhelming that particular organ in their body. And so it's working that organ real hard, and on top of that, you're not eating anything to help it and to clean it out, and eventually a tumor formed on that organ. And all the tumor is cellular waste. It's cellular waste and toxins and all that stuff. And how do you reverse that? Well, a lot of times they go in there and cut it off. Or you can just go on a fruit diet. You can do a water fast for a while and cleanse the body out. But a lot of time, we've been eating grains so long, and you could go online and they'll tell you sugar and these grains are like wheat are more addictive than like heroin, because they have another protein in them. It's called wheat germ agglutinin, and it binds to the opioid receptor in your brain, and it keeps you craving, to where you can eat these grains and it never triggers your sedentary switch where you're like, oh, okay, I'm full. Like if you eat meat, you can only eat so much, and then you don't even want to smell it anymore. Same thing with fruit. Same thing with vegetables, but not grain. And that is why these greedy ass companies put it in everything out there. That's why they put it in everything, because they can make more money off it. And then once they done made a bunch of money off you and you done got older, then disease kicks in, and they're going to make money off you as you head to the grave. So by the time they throw you in that grave, you broke and they rich. It's a hustle. So did I answer your question? I know I rambled. All right, here, let's switch. Ooh, I think the battery gone. Hey, Deacon Gorman, you think I get some batteries in this? Bless you.
No, I can speak up on the mic.
No, I need it for the video.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I was going to ask you about those people that take juice wheatgrass and take wheat germ. Is it affect them the same way?
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Wheatgrass. Yeah. Because again, you're getting all those proteins into your body. Are there beneficial effects? Absolutely. But it's also negative effects also. But with the herbs, some of the herbs we use is only beneficial. Same thing with fruit. We'll go into that. I'll come to you, sis. Hold on.
Yes, sir, Mr. Israel. I had a heart attack maybe about, let me see, I'm 57 now, 13 years ago. I have 2 stents in me. This is the first time I'm actually learning how to, this is the first class I'm ever taking. Now I'm having weird effects. Like I have a knot right here that just don't seem to want to go away. Okay. What I'm curious about is how can I naturally control these things? What do I need to do? Like as far as the types of vegetables that keep my arteries clear and stuff.
Right.
Like that.
What do you eat? Are you eating a lot of grains?
Yep. I've been eating everything, but this is the first time I'm hearing about
Right.
the grains.
Yeah. You need to go on a high fruit diet. Hey, y'all got that detox sheet? Yeah. You need to go on a high fruit diet. You're backed up. Like what I showed right there, you got going on with your heart.
Yes, sir.
You got high blood pressure?
I'm right on the borderline.
Yeah. You got exactly what I just showed you there.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You simply have a lot of cellular waste and toxins backing up in you. See, this is the diet I recommend that you go on. Hey, Sister Leah, give me another one, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over that in a little while. But yeah, you're going to have to change your diet radically so you can cleanse your body out and get it clean out. Because if you keep going that route, it's not going to go well. You just put it up there. Put it up there. What was that? Thank you. Go ahead, sis.
Okay, so how do you feel about an all alkaline diet?
Alkaline diet, that's the diet. If you see this little square right here on there, that's the diet that we're on at our home assembly. I'm going to let Sister Koya come up and talk about it a little later, but that's the diet that we eat in our home, at our home assembly. It's alkaline foods, mostly vegetables and fruit type stuff that they make. And believe it or not, eating that way, we have cookies, we have cake, we have pancakes and waffles, but it's all made with alkaline, clean ingredients. So, yeah. We're not over there like eating carrots all day suffering. Because I see some of y'all faces like when I told him that, you're going to have to go on a high fruit diet, change his diet, like I be seeing people, they be like, we still have pizza, we still have we had fried chicken yesterday, but it was cassava fried chicken in grapeseed oil. You see what I'm saying? Because regular fried chicken is hell on you. Yeah.
Yes,
Go ahead,
sir.
sis.
I have two questions now because you just gave me reminded me of something. But my first one was, what is the right amount of grains or a good amount of grain to even eat? If you said it's better in small amounts, but
Me personally, I don't eat none
At all.
because literally with me, it literally feels like I'm having a stroke when I eat it because I just ate so terribly growing up, and I guess one of the weak areas in my body genetically or whatever is my neurological system. So for me, I don't touch it. The sisters have all types of grain alternatives that they use. You know what I'm saying? But some of the sisters in the house, they'll have grain, every now and then. But for the most part, they use other ingredients.
yes, sir. The other question, you mentioned grapeseed oil. I actually read something recently about seed oils being like rancid and just bad for you, and so I kind of switched over to coconut oil and avocado oil. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on oils and different types of oils out there.
So yeah, when I talk about a lot of this stuff, you hear things like anything, like any fruit, anything I say, somebody can say, hey, I heard this about it. But what I did with my studies and researching, and I'll read the medical journals and all this stuff, and everything I'm saying is in the medical journals. Like, it's out there for public information, but nobody's going to read the medical journals about, like, all this stuff that, like, when I talked about wheat germ agglutinin, you could go on Google and look this stuff up, and it's right there in the medical journals where they tested this stuff. But what I've seen as a smoking gun causing all these issues are, one of the main ones is the grains. One of the second worst ones is the caffeine. You see what I'm saying? Another one is just people consuming way too much meat and beans. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've seen where, hey, change this, and then people have a massive change and result from doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I had a question about fungus. Does it work the same?
About what?
Fungus.
Okay.
Does it work the same as you demonstrated earlier?
Yep. It works. It works the same way, and sugar feeds fungus.
Okay, so what dietary diet would you use to get rid of fungus?
All fruit.
All fruit.
It cleans. And what we do, we have a body detox tea, which, hallelujah, we sold out of that yesterday. Y'all bought that stuff. But we have a body detox tea, and the same way it works inside, it works outside. Like, somebody had fungus on their foot or something. I said, boil up the tea, pour it in some water, and stick your foot in it. And drink the tea. But don't drink the tea you stuck your foot in, though. Unless you on some other weird diet. Yeah, but.
Oh, so, Brother Micah Israel, so I traveled in a U-Haul for 2 weeks, bringing all my stuff from California over to Kentucky. And afterwards, when I sleep, my limbs go numb, like my fingers.
Yeah, we had somebody, there's somebody I know that happened to, and it literally went away when they eliminated grains because, again, you could look this up in the medical journals. Grains behave like a neurotoxin. So the other thing I recommend is eat a lot of berries, including grapes, because they help with the neurological system.
Yes, sir. One more question. What about sourdough bread?
Grain.
God.
But I'm sure, like I said, I'm going to have the sisters come up here. I'm sure there's a way to make sourdough bread out of this other stuff. Because like I said, they made pizza. Because I was a pizza addict. Like, that was my big thing. So, yeah.
Anybody else got a question?
All right, I have a question. 2 questions, actually. So I like to go to the gym. So would a all-fruit diet, well, I'm not saying all-fruit diet, but basically, like, let's say a post-workout meal, would that have, like, would fruit have the same effect as if you were eating, like, having a protein shake or something like that?
No, fruit, like I said, fruits cleanse the body. Vegetables build. So there's vegetables like alfalfa sprouts. They use alfalfa to bulk up horses.
Okay.
So if you consume that in large amounts, it's going to have the same effect, but it's going to be real clean muscle. And it helps cleanse a little bit. So alfalfa, bamboo shoots, and those are some of the foods that if you want to build muscle. But there's more, but I got to finish doing my research on that. That's some, like, stuff I'm working on right now. But, yeah, there's a bunch of vegetables. I think bok choy is another one that will build you up because they're nutrient dense.
Okay.
And just so you know, they tell you your body needs protein. Your body doesn't need protein, it needs amino acid. Like, when you eat meat, your body takes the proteins in the meat, it has to break them down and then put them back together into the amino acids it needs them to be. So don't fall into that deception. All's a protein is a long chain amino acid, just a longer one. So,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
I forgot my second question, but
All right. Yeah, if it comes back, just put your hand up. We got time.
Yeah, so I had a question. I have a natural sister, and years ago she came to me and she said that she went to the doctor and the doctor told her that she has hypothyroidism.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I also told her too, that I did a little bit of research on, was that you also got to put away the fluoride toothpaste, the fluoride mouthwash, and get a good water filter that filters out that fluoride from there. But what exactly causes that symptom?
Right. So, with the thyroid, basically what's happening is there's a lot of agglomulation, and when I say agglomulation, I mean that example I showed y'all there, cellular waste and toxins backing up in the thyroid. And so the thyroid is getting worked hard. She might be on a bad diet, and that's the first place this backup is showing its face at. You know what I'm saying? It's in the thyroid. Right. And it comes right back to the same thing. She has to change her diet.
Gotcha.
You
Yes,
know
sir.
what I'm saying? Yep.
Incorporating into a diet, how does chicken and fish work as far as
Kicking a what?
chicken and fish?
Chicken and fish?
Yes.
Very sparingly. Like in our home assembly, we eat like chicken. Now here at the feast, we've been getting it in, but when we at home, it's probably every 2 weeks we might have some chicken. It's very sparingly. But again, like these sisters, they be doing it up in that kitchen. Like Sister Koya can take some type of mushroom and season it up and do some stuff to it, and it tastes just like chicken. So they got all types of stuff. And like I said, there's a free recipe book on a household herbs website that shows you a bunch of stuff. And very soon here, the sisters are going to be putting out a comprehensive recipe book so that you don't have to come off this stuff the way we did, because we came off the hard way. We didn't know what the heck to eat, you know. But you need to eat chicken and fish very sparingly. And just to reiterate again, what happens when you eat meat or these proteins or beans or something like that, your body uses a very small amount of the protein from the meat. And what your body has to do is it has to break those proteins down, which is a acidic process, and it has to reassemble them into what it needs them to be. On top of that, all that excess protein goes over to your kidneys. And your kidneys it just is a huge load on your kidneys. So you find people who have kidney disease or kidney issues, they've been consuming a lot of meat. Oh yeah, I have meat for breakfast, sausage or something like that. I have meat for lunch on my Subway sandwich, and then I have meat for dinner. You know what I'm saying? Or that meat with beans and all this stuff like that, and it wreaks havoc on your system. So yeah, there's one up here.
So I have another question too. Bad body odor. So I know that when I don't eat as much or like I'm fasting, there's a very bad body odor. in my body. Like, can you explain what
Say that
is?
again.
I can smell bad body odor in my body. Like
When you're fasting.
when I'm fasting or I'm not eating as much.
Right. So what's happening, and it's a good sign. So what's happening is when you consume fruit or when you don't eat, because your digestive process, when you're digesting food, it consumes like 50 to 60% of your body's energy, okay? When you eliminate that, or when you go on an all-fruit diet, your body doesn't use nearly as much energy for digesting and processing this food. When you're eating like 3 meals a day, literally 24/7, your body is just working on processing the food, because that's the priority. Because if it doesn't, that food's gonna get rotten. You're gonna have a disease or something. It has to digest it and get it out. So when you go on a fast, or when you go on like an all fruit diet or whatever, you're eliminating digestion, and your body takes that extra energy and uses it to cleanse and regenerate the body. So what you're smelling is your body pushing toxins and waste out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, the body's beginning to regenerate itself. And what we have on this sheet, like when you buy the herbs and stuff, and you're gonna go on a cleanse, on a detox cleanse, we have here the cleansing symptoms that you can experience when you get on these herbs, and they can be extreme. So you have mild cold and flu, mucus coming out, headaches, fevers, loss of energy, rashes, because your body will start pushing stuff out through the skin, you know what I'm saying? All the way to extreme symptoms where your teeth get loose, nails fall off, people go blind temporarily, like extreme stuff, if you're doing a real extreme cleanse and detox. So it's a whole bunch of stuff. And we're fearfully and wonderfully made. And literally all you have to do is put your body in a cleansing mode, and you do that by consuming all fruits, or by consuming nothing, or just consuming all water. But doing a dry fast or just a water fast is way more extreme, and you need to know what you're doing if you're going to do that over a day or two. You know what I'm saying? But you will get extreme results doing that. Yeah.
And my next question is, I like Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and I like those Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Flaming Hot Cheetos?
Flamin' Hot Cheetos and the chips that have the dyes in it. Can you tell me like what's going on with my body when I'm consuming those dyes?
It's effing you up. Like you eating chemicals. Like I give you some motor oil out there and you drink it and you tell me, yeah, it's trash. It's worse than worse. You know, they said with Doritos, they said the MSG that they put on those Doritos can make cardboard taste like a Dorito. And they said if they removed that MSG out of them Doritos, they would taste like cardboard. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, them Cheetos is cheating you.
What would be good for me to restore my neurological system to regain sensation in my body?
So I read about a person, he had severed his spine and went on an all-fruit diet for a while, and the nerves grew back and restored. So, because the body, again, you put your body in a situation where it can regenerate itself. And the other thing that happened when he did that is he was coughing up a lot of mucus and stuff like that. But all fruit diet. And again, what our body does is what is it, every 7 years, every single cell in your body is like a brand new one, okay? So that ought to tell you something right there. But the way they train us up in this country, and I have it in one of the Bible verses, it basically says in the end time, people would be overcome by surfeiting. They'd be overcome by overeating. The way we eat at our house during the week is in the morning, I'll have like a juice or a smoothie or something like that, and I just eat fruit throughout the day. If I get hungry, at 3 p.m., we'll eat a dinner. We eat dinner, and it's an alkaline dinner, and then later on that evening, I'll just have fruit. Most people are eating for breakfast. They're eating some bread, some type of bread. The body has to figure out how to break that down. They're eating cheese. The body has to come up with a way to break that down. They're eating some type of meat. Body got to figure out how to break that down. And they're washing it down with some type of orange juice or something that's full of sugar, full of the bad sugar, not just fruit sugar, the bad sugar. And so literally, the body's working on trying to break that down all the way till noontime. Then here they come. Now you're eating lunch. And then after that, you're eating dinner. So literally, the body can't regenerate itself. But you go on a juice fast or a fruit diet, and you put the body in a modality where it can regenerate itself and begin, regenerating tissue, cleansing, and doing what it needs to do. And when I say doing what it needs to do, we're fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body knows exactly what it needs to start working on when. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do nothing, but make sure you keep it in the modality where it can do that. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Okay. She was saying chlorophyll chlorella helps with that if you're having body odor while you're fasting. I just stay funky though if I'm fasting. It don't matter.
So about a month ago, I was forced basically to go on a fruit fast, and my body, I guess, started detoxing, like extreme detox. I was eating just cucumbers and pretty much cucumbers for like 3 days straight. And
Eating what for 3 days straight?
cucumbers.
Oh, okay.
And my body actually, I started to grow an abscess because I had like tooth pain, like minor tooth pain where I didn't want to eat anything but that. So it created an abscess, and like it pulled all the toxins into this abscess, and then got that taken care of. Oh, I'm sorry. Got that taken care of.
I couldn't hear what you said. You said the abscess did what?
It pulled all the toxins, I guess, out of my mouth into an abscess. After that, I started looking into it, and I realized that like a lot of the times when I'm starting to detox, I got issues with my teeth. So like.
You have fillings?
Yes.
Yeah. If you cleanse for a while, like I've heard people talk about, their fillings will pop off and stuff like that.
Okay.
But when you say, now I'm not sure, what is an abscess? That's like a bump or something? What is that?
It was like a pus-filled bump in your mouth.
Okay, yeah. That's just the body cleansing stuff out because it'll cleanse it out through the skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another question is, like, when I go on these diets, I did like quick research for, I guess I figured I had a deficiency in calcium. Is there anything I can do in a diet that y'all guys have that would help replenish that?
Yeah, so the thyroid controls calcium, and a calcium deficiency. Well, I'll tell you this. What the body does with calcium is it uses calcium. When your body gets real acidic, the body will take calcium to neutralize acids.
Okay. Okay.
And that's why it's like a mass, sometimes masses, they'll harden, and that's due to calcium.
Okay.
But I'd have to look into the cause of a calcium deficiency, see exactly what it is, you know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So along the same lines as what Elder Donnie just talked about, the teeth, is there any specific fruit or vegetable that you would recommend to rebuild the teeth?
Yeah, so what I brush my teeth with, and Sister Koya loves it, is bentonite clay, activated charcoal, and coconut oil. And it remineralizes the teeth. And the bentonite clay and coconut oil absorb all the bacteria. And when you're done brushing your teeth, it leaves the sink looking perfect.
Yeah, I know. I've used very dark and ugly.
And Koya loves it, don't you, Koya?
And the other question is, in terms of liver, is there anything that you can recommend for rebuilding liver?
Yes, the milk thistle and dandelion root. And we have a sister, she's probably gonna be the expert on that because she's working on all that. But those are the herbs that will, like, they can reverse cirrhosis and stuff like that. We're trying to reverse, what's that called? When the blood doesn't clot. I forget what it's called. Hemophilia with it. But we're still in the experimental stage. But those two herbs in particular, there's other ones in the dock family, like yellow dock, that those herbs cleanse and regenerate and tonify the liver, along with, being on all fruit diet or a high fruit diet.
So also if you have a pain, like where your appendix is, would that be related to the liver, or is that just appendix, you think? Because it's like a sharp pain, like you can't move,
You have to, like stuff like that, you have to get that checked out. But what are you consuming?
It's not me, it's somebody else.
What do they eat? Are they, because I always want to know, are they eating a lot, like appendix pain, so are they eating a lot of meat? Are they eating a lot of dairy and grains?
I feel like it's more snack foods.
Oh, yeah. So
yeah,
they need
like nuts and chips and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, they need to cut that for sure, because that's the worst right there,
Thank you. So I know a couple individuals in which their body doesn't absorb salt, and so they have to overconsume salt. They said their mother had the same thing, in which her organs started to shut down because she just wasn't absorbing salt, and so they literally just douse all of their food, Gatorades, things that have I guess a lot of other types of sodium.
Wait, what about Gatorade?
I guess that their doctor had said to help add Gatorade or other things like that, I guess. Even though obviously that's not helpful, but whatever.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that, so I don't know. I'd have to ask some more questions, But yeah, I haven't heard of not being able to absorb salt. I know that your kidneys, like when you consume salt, it helps you to not urinate as much and stuff like that, like retain your electrolytes. So it almost sounds like something to do with the kidneys, but I don't know.
Okay. Am I good to go?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so for pregnant women, not all herbs are safe, or are they?
I say don't take no herbs unless you like really, really know what you're doing, because like a lot of women, what's that herb? Red raspberry. They're like, oh, I gotta take this. It tonifies my wound and all this stuff. And you gotta know what you're doing. You don't want to be messing around. Now, and this is the thing, especially with the herbs we use, they're astringent and they cause the body to detoxify and cleanse. And those herbs will cause the body to cleanse the baby right out the womb, because it's just the way the body will react to it. And you go into labor and stuff. So you got to be very, very careful with herbs. And while you pregnant is not the time to all of a sudden want to do some detox and all this stuff. You could go on a high fruit diet and just mildly detox, and it's going to help you being on a higher fruit diet, because it's going to hydrate your body and it will make the birth easier. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't have really any. I don't recommend like being on herbs or trying to do anything serious with herbs while you're pregnant. And if you are going to take some herbs, you need to know you got to really know what they do. You know, so.
Yes, sir. Are you guys growing all of the food you eat on your land right now?
Are we growing all the food we consume? We're not on land yet.
Oh, yes, sir.
We're looking, most high willing, he's gonna open up something.
Hallelujah.
You know, this dead season. Y'all be praying for us. Because he's opening a lot of doors, so we're working on it. I think something will be happening soon.
Yes, sir.
We're actually looking right now, so.
Yes, sir. I would love to see if you guys, when you guys do get in the land and start growing everything, videos of like what you're growing and how you're using it and making it.
Oh, we're definitely gonna be doing that.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Bless you, Big Mike.
Bless you.
Quick question for you. Organic fruits versus non-organic. Like I live in the city, and even there, organic fruits are questionable. So, you know, if I do this high fruit diet, what should I be doing?
Yeah, people have cleansed on Walmart grapes. You know what I'm saying? So like you could get and that organic crap is just a word that you pay money to have on the package most of the time, but it still works. You know what I'm saying? It's still Yah's fruit, and it's just as powerful. Like you go on an all fruit diet, and you getting everything from Walmart or whatever, it's gonna hit just as hard. Bless you.
Hey, Mike Israel, bless you, sir. I just had a question. It was a cardiovascular question. So, are there foods or herbs that I could take to, because a lot of times, like I'll have a hard time breathing sometimes, or sometimes chest pain too. So, just want to see if there's any foods or herbs that would help out with that.
So, are you consuming a lot of grains and stuff like that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The biggest thing is gonna be removing those grains out of there. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna probably see the largest effect when you remove all the grains, and then the next largest effect you're gonna see is when you consume a high fruit diet. It's funny, because one of the things I was looking at, people be asking me about all these diets and all this stuff, and there are diets that work and everything, but as far as like actually cleansing and regenerating the body, nothing's beating a high fruit diet. But what's funny is the guy who was the host of the Biggest Loser, that show where the people lose weight. He was writing a book about the diet that he recommends to lose weight, and it's a complex carbohydrate diet where you eat whole wheat pasta and all these so-called clean grains. And in the middle of writing this book, he was at the gym and had a massive heart attack. It was like super massive. And the only reason he survived is because there was like a cardiologist at the gym lifting weights. You know what I'm saying? But he still put that stupid ass book out, have people eating all that shit. But yeah, you gotta cut the carb, like you gotta cut the grains out. So check this out. The reason why people don't realize grains are the culprit is because the grain industry is like the most powerful industry, hands down. They can ship grains all over the world. They can store them, so it's lucrative, and people consume a ton of them. They're addictive. You see what I'm saying? So they'll pay, oh yeah, you're having a heart attack because you're eating salt, or you're having a heart attack because you're eating too much meat and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, the culprit are the grains. That's the one thing you see across the board. You know what I'm saying?
Bless you, sir. So earlier you had mentioned that there can be different extreme detox side effects. Mm-hmm. And so I had gone grain-free and gluten-free for a while, and then I noticed my hair started to thin a little bit, so then I got scared and I stopped. But but is there additional things you can do to kind of help with certain side effects as you detox?
Yes. So when I put people, like some people, because of their condition, I'll put them on an all-fruit diet, and their body will start cleansing. They're getting headaches, and they're running fevers, and all this stuff's happening. Like, for instance, Elder Mitchell, okay? I had Elder Mitchell on a diet, and his body was cleansing and pushing all this stuff. He's like, Mike, it's just, man, this thing driving me crazy. I was like, all right, what I'm going to do to dial it back and slow down the detox, I had him eat a banana. A banana will slow down the detox because it's not a very cleansing fruit. Or if you want to slow it down, you could eat an avocado, because that's not a cleansing fruit that's going to cleanse real hard. So that'll slow the symptoms down a little. If you want to slow them down even further, you could eat a salad. You know what I'm saying? And that'll slow them down even further. So.
Hallelujah. So one of the things that we always try to recommend when people come to us for consultations, they'll come and they'll say, hey, I got a pain here, or I think this is going on, or I think it's this, and they're not really sure what is going on. And they'll ask, well, what herbs do you think I can use for this ache, this pain? And what we try to recommend you do is go and get some diagnostic testing done. Go get an MRI. Go get a blood work done. Go find out from a physician exactly what those issues are. I have a pain in my back. I have a pain in my breast area, or I'm feeling, I have kidney pain. You can have kidney and liver function testing done to know how your kidneys and your liver, how they're performing. So we don't just throw herbs at things. Number one, we always go to the Father, right? Because He is the healer. So that's first and foremost. And then when we're walking it out, because sometimes that's required. We believe in supernatural divine healing, but sometimes when we're walking it out, we have to live a certain way. So once you know what's wrong with you exactly, and then you're having to walk it out, then you can come and say, hey, I have poor liver function. I have poor kidney function. I was diagnosed with this. Then let's go Yah's route, okay, with the natural things. But we can't diagnose anybody. You have to go to, now we're working on some future doctors in our assembly. They're being educated and they're going to,
Yeah,
seeking that
and
out.
one of the things that there's actually a couple things. There is a way you can kind of pinpoint what's going on with somebody. A lot of times, like the brother talking about the calcium issue, most of the time that's endocrine system, but at a minimum, everybody here, at a minimum, you need to get a comprehensive metabolic panel. Everybody should, because that's going to tell you, that's like hooking a scan tool up to your car, seeing if there's any codes in there. And that's going to alert you to something that might be going on that you might be totally unaware of. So at a minimum, everybody should get that, just to be safe, know what's going on, know if any symptoms are coming up. At the end of the day, you know, one of the points I want to drive in is, at the end of the day, the Most High is not the author of confusion. But these wicked people in the medical establishment are. And let me even be accurate with that. The first line care or the first aid care or whatever you want, what would you call that, Leah? Like the front line care, the triage care or whatever? Like their ability to see what's going on with your body is bar none. It's out of this world. They are on point, okay? That's tight. And their first aid care. Outside of that, it's a hustle. That's something. That other thing is sorcery that they're doing. It's evil. That's why they got that snake on that thing. You know what I'm saying? Their medicine is that stuff is sorcery, what they're doing out there. And they look at these herbs and analyze the stuff that works in them, and they figure out how they can make money off it and keep you coming back. But take advantage of that. Don't throw the whole medical establishment out. It's not a waste. And the other thing we're working on is iridology. It's very accurate. You can look at marks in people's eyes, and it ain't no esoteric stuff, you know, but you can look at folks' eyes in different areas. Like me, I broke my ankle, and I had knee surgery at one point. And when you look at that area in my eye, you see a big black mark. And it's called iridology. And I've tested it out seeing people with their condition, and I look at their eye, and you kind of see that. I just haven't had a whole bunch of time to study it, and I didn't get too involved in it because the Most High ain't the author of confusion. Stuff's simple as heck. Truth be told, if you want to heal and you want to, you know, get your body in healthy condition, just eat fruit. How hard is that? And the Most High told you that in the beginning of the word. He didn't say eat, you know, snacks. He said he put the fruit there. You know what I'm saying? And it also says it in and he talks about he gave the herbs for healing and stuff like that. So that's in the book of Sirach. Go ahead, Cicely.
Bless y'all. So I just wanted to add to what Sister Quinn and Brother Michael was saying, just the seriousness of the healing process. It's important to know what's going on to get those diagnostic tests. And a lot of the ones, like he mentioned, the metabolic panel, all those tests, those general tests, you can easily, there's multiple sources. You can go online, actually put in an order. Like there's physicians that work for these companies that they put an order in. You can go to a LabCorp and go get those testings done and get those results so you know. Now there's specialty labs that may be needed and that you may need to go to see a physician. But things like if you're having cardiac or respiratory issues, those are things that life and death, that can kill you. Those are the main things keeping you alive. And yes, the fasting, the cleansing is what's going to get you to the point where you're not going to need any medical attention. You're not going to need their medicine. But you just want to be wise about how you transition. Like if you're a diabetic and you're on insulin, you're not going to say, I'm going to stop my insulin, right? You want to change your diet, decrease your insulin, work it so you get to a point where you no longer need it. And then like if someone is on blood pressure medication, you know, you want to ease your way off that as well, because some medications, if you stop taking it like abruptly, you can have rebound effects. So your blood pressure has been beautiful this whole time while you're taking this medication, and then all of a sudden you stop taking everything. Your blood pressure going to go shoot through the roof, and you're going to end up in the hospital. So it's just using wisdom. So like, I know there's someone that has high blood pressure. They take their medication, but they started, using Brother Michael's, I think, kidney kickstart, and it even lowered their blood pressure more. So that'd be an opportunity, like, okay, I see this is working. I'm gonna start decreasing the dose myself, all right, and just see how I'm doing, and monitor your blood pressure, monitor your blood sugar while you're doing this, because you want to be aware, you want to be, wise. People have families, you want to, yes, wean yourself off these things, because there are effects, because these medications are so strong, and there are side effects. Like, your body's used to having these things, so once you just rip it away, especially when it's like the extreme things, not like I'm on an acid and for my GI upset, that's something that you can easily remove and just say the diet's going to come change that itself, fix the problem. So it's just be aware, be wise, get the knowledge you can get that's available to you, and then go from there. And then some herbs just like you can't take certain medications to get together, like, okay, I'm already on a blood thinner, I can't take this one or eat this food because it's going to thin my blood even more. And then I'm going to have bleeding issues. So it's just, like Brother Michael said, know your herbs, what you're taking, understand it for yourself, and what you already have going on, and, just plan it out. Be mindful, be careful, be sober, and that's all I have. Bless y'all.
All right. So real fast, and then we'll come to you. Come on, sis. So the sister, she has a testimony, so I'm gonna have her do it.
Shalom, bless y'all, Israel. Can y'all hear me? I have an amazing testimony to share with you all, and I'm gonna try not to be too long-winded, but there's a lot of details. It's very beautiful, and I just want to thank Brother Michael Israel for all of his knowledge. First, thank you so much, because you helped us so much. I can't say it enough. And I'm going to try not to cry. And it's kind of weird, because this is my first time talking on a microphone. Okay, so this testimony is about Barak. This is my husband's son. When he was about 3 months old, he broke out really bad, and it was a lot of inflammation. His skin was cracking to the point of bleeding. He had blisters from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. If you look at his body, you can see a lot of white patches that looks like vitiligo. It's just from where he was healed. It was all over his back, his chest, his face, and he ended up losing his hair. That's why he's, short haircut now. He had patches of hair left on him. It was hard for him to sleep. When I would pick him up, he would cry. He didn't eat as much. His poop became a very sticky, mucusy type of stool that looked stringy, like snot. And he was just upset a lot, okay? So when that happened, I remembered Brother Michael Israel talking, and I actually typed in the comment section, hey, even though I knew what to do, what do I do? And he's like, sis, you know what to do. And I'm like, yeah, I do. So I changed my diet. Whoa, I changed my diet, okay? So I started off saying, okay, I'm not gonna eat bread. So I stopped eating bread, and he was clearing up a little. And then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna eat rice. I'm not gonna eat pasta. And he was clearing up a little more. And then I went to Mother, and I'm like, hey, what should I do? I'm not eating grains anymore. I was still eating oatmeal though, because yeah. And she said, start taking coconut oil and flaxseed oil twice a day. So you remove a lot out of your body, and you got to replace it with something, right? Because I didn't know what to eat. I knew what to eat, but I'm like, dang, it's kind of expensive. I'm eating apples and oranges and salads, you know, and I didn't have any healthy fats. Yes, so 3 months ago, I am breastfeeding him, so I can't change his diet. So I'm changing my diet. And please, yes, interject, because there's a lot going on with this story. I don't mind at all. So I started taking 2 spoons, like a regular spoon you eat cereal with, of coconut oil twice a day, and flaxseed oil twice a day. It's really disgusting. And then in the morning, I would eat some apples and oranges, or if they had something on the menu that I knew didn't have grains, I would eat that. And he started clearing up to the point where every symptom and everything he had was gone.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
The testimony continues, okay? So not too long ago, it was about a month ago, he breaks out again. This time, okay, I'm eating healthy, right? I got a hold of Sister Koya. I'm like, I have a testimony. After that testimony, he breaks out. He broke out a little bit different than before. This time, his skin was dry and flaky, and it was peeling, and he had abscesses all over. So he had an abscess on both of his nipples. He had one on his butt. He had one on his back. He had one on his neck. And they hurt really bad. I got to one of them, and I squeezed it out, and the pus was a very dark yellow, greenish color. And when like I said before, when I would pick him up, it would hurt. He would cry when I touched it. I had to let some of them just get to the point of exploding on their own. I used warm compresses. I continued to take my oils. I got off of oatmeal because I'm like, oh, it's oatmeal. Then I got off of sugar because I was like, you know what? I'm going to just eliminate sugar too. I could see a change in my body at that point where I wasn't having mucus anymore in the morning. You know, you wake up, you got the eye stuff, you got the and the mucus going down your throat. I didn't have that anymore.
Hallelujah.
Another thing that changed was I was very constipated. I know, TMI, but I'm here to help. I began to be able to use the restroom more frequently, and my stool wasn't hard, okay?
Hallelujah.
Yes, ma'am. So I was able to use the restroom. His stool was no longer sticky, slimy. It was normal, like a breastfed baby would be, you know, still mushy though, because he's not eating solids, but normal, okay? Y'all know what I mean? So after he has this white, peeling skin and all these abscesses, I'm like, okay, I'm doing everything. I'm eating healthy. I can see a change in me. I can see a change in him. I'm going to the brothers. So the head of our community, Brother Jonathan, I go to him and I say, he has all these abscesses. His skin is dry, cracky. I'm taking my oils. I'm doing everything. Please help. Can you pray for him? He stands up. Then all the brothers in the room stand up and they come over to him. At this point, I know it's not just natural anymore because he was healed, right? Yes. So they all lay their hands on the top of his head and they command that whatever this disease is that's attacking his body, the inflammation, You said it earlier, and I forgot what it's called, but it's when the body attacks itself. Autoimmune disorder. When they called it out and everything that they could think of that it could be, and they put their hands on him, that next day, the flakes began to come off of him.
Hallelujah.
All of the redness began to subside from his body. The abscesses began to pop and drain out on their own. I was giving him 2 baths a day, letting him soak in warm water, and that's it. I wasn't taking any medication. I wasn't changing anything. I did not go on a fruit diet because I knew that if I did, all of the toxins in me would go through my milk into him and it would be worse. So I just stayed eating healthy. I kept eating fruits. I still ate vegetables. Every once in a while, I might have a little piece of candy. You know what I mean? I wasn't being too religious, y'all. I was like, okay, I can do this, you know? And look at him.
He's beautiful. He's beautiful.
If anyone wants to see the before and after pictures, I have them. Well, this is the after picture, but I have the before pictures.
Hallelujah. So yeah, and one of the things I want y'all to keep in mind with going on a fruit diet and everything, don't have a mindset of, oh, I got to go all in 1,000%, everything like that. You got to take this, adjust how big of steps you're taking to where it works for you. If you need to take a break, but don't quit. You know what I'm saying? Just stay locked in, stay engaged. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be good. So hallelujah.
Yes, sir. When it comes to the inflammation, can you give a quick definition of inflammation once again?
So when something, basically, it's just like that example I sent. When there's something acidic or toxic in the body has to protect itself. So basically, it sends mucus. Mucus is alkaline. So if there's like a lot of cellular waste that's backing up, cellular waste is acidic. You see what I'm saying? So it will send, the body will send mucus and stuff and other compounds and stuff to neutralize it so it doesn't burn the healthy tissue around it.
Got you. And then the relation.
So real fast, let me say this. So like when people are like she was talking about, like you wake up in the morning, you hocking up all this mucus, is because there's something acidic going on in your throat or something like that, and mucus is sent to neutralize it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and the relation between inflammation and autoimmune diseases, you were saying something earlier about proteins that are similar to the proteins in the body.
Yeah, so like for instance, and it don't get it twisted, it ain't as simple as I'm trying to explain it, but yeah, well let me go into this whole thing. So you have 2 parts to your immune system. There's the innate immune system, and I forget what the other one is called. But basically, the way your immune system is, you have one part of your immune system that's like a sniper. And then you have another part of your immune system that's like a plane flying over, dropping a bomb on something. And this is another thing that I didn't talk about that's important, is your vitamin D levels. If your vitamin D gets low, the part of your immune system that's like a precision sniper, that part will shut down. And you will have the other part of your immune system that's like a plane dropping bombs on something, that'll be the only functional part. So that also ties into autoimmune disease, okay? To say it a clearer way, when your vitamin D levels get low, your immune system can't see clearly, okay? And that could kind of contribute to autoimmune disease, and that's why it's important to make sure you get your vitamin D levels checked, especially black folks, especially if you're dark skinned, and especially if you're dark skinned, you live at these northern latitudes, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're down in like the Caribbean or down in like Florida or something like that, it might be better, but still, if you work inside a lot, the chances are high that your vitamin D levels could be low. But going back to what you said, with autoimmune disease, it's almost like this blanket term. They put on a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, it's going to tie into these foods you're eating, strange proteins being used by certain organs. Like I think, but yeah, it's going to tie into strange proteins being used by certain organs, and it also can tie into your endocrine system. Your endocrine system are your glands. That's the system that controls everything in your body, controls all types of stuff, thyroid, all that stuff like that, adrenals and everything. So it ties into all that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And just lastly, so I had gotten a blood test work and a whole bunch of numbers, but the only thing that popped out was the hemoglobin, where it said that it was close to the low side, and something associated with it where the doctor asked me if I had any iron deficiency. So I was trying to see if you had any information about just iron in general and what that could do to the body.
Yes, so with iron, you want to, like if you want to increase your iron levels, you take sarsaparilla, yellow dog, they're high in iron phosphate. As far as the cause of iron deficiency and how all that ties in, I'd have to research. I did know it, but I don't remember it offhand of some of the causes of that. So, but sometimes it could be due to diet. You know what I'm saying? Not eating, you know, the right foods or whatever. But I don't. Yeah, right now I don't have anything specific.
Shalom, I have two questions. My first one is about canker sores. If you know anything about that. I've had them reoccurring since I was young, and I've never been able to find like real good information on them, not even from doctors. I've heard stress is a big cause of them too, and in relation to things I've gone through in my life, I've been able to see how I would have more during stressful times. But also I did see someone who did iridology, and they said my small intestine was inflamed. And I don't know if the two are related, but do you have any info on those kinds of things?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, they call the skin the third kidney. So if it can't go through the lymphatic system and get out, you urinate it out and go through the kidneys and everything, it'll come out through the skin. And like the canker sores, what that is acids burning those and like making that sore. So it's definitely acidosis. So, and then you coupled in stress. And what I said, stress is one of those things that will shut down the kidneys and the lymphatic system and stop it from functioning the way it needs to function. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, you know, it goes right back to looking at diet. Are you Are you consuming a lot of grains and inflammatory foods? You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And but to me, it's pretty straight. Like just based off what you said, I would say you're backed up lymphatically, and your kidneys might be, there might be some kidney filtration issues.
Yes, sir. I noticed I get them the most when I consume when I would
Speak a
consume
little
wheat.
loud.
I get them the most if I consume wheat and are in a stressful time period. So I know that they're related. Yes, sir.
So that's confirmation.
Yes,
Yep.
sir. Thank you.
So you know exactly what it is now.
Yes.
But you're over there. You're with Elder Mitchell, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you're in the right spot. You
Yes,
know what
sir.
I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So you good to go.
Hallelujah. Okay, my second question is, could you give more detail or expound on diet recommendations for pregnant women with the no grain, high fruit, some meat, etc.?
Sister Leah, give her a mic.
Here she go.
Sister Leah and Sister Coy. And I'm going to have them come up here because and let me tell y'all sisters this. Y'all hear everything I'm saying, and I'm sure everybody's here is either on a community, or if you're aspiring to be on one, it's the way to go. Because these sisters, Sister Koya, Sister Leah, and Sister Crystal, and Sister Kiana, and Sister Rachel here, they all figured all this stuff out. And it's through these sisters doing what they do that keeps the whole community healthy. We're cooking that way. And because we don't, in our assembly, in our home communities, we don't have issues. Nobody really gets sick at all. Like no sniffles or nothing. So this is the way to go. And all this stuff, what you're gonna find, you download when they come out with this comprehensive recipe book, or if you look at the free one that's on the website, you're gonna see that this is stuff that you can easily grow on the community. This is part of y'all helping us come out from among them and not having to be up in their hospitals all the time. But y'all go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did you say breastfeeding or pregnant? Pregnant. I mean, it's basically going to be the same thing. But if you're going on the stream of detoxing, when he says they do, we don't recommend detoxing while breastfeeding or pregnant, because it's removing all the toxins and waste over your body from your whole lifetime. So whatever's remaining, it's removing it. So with pregnant, and he said even with the herbs, like, you don't want to cause any more stress on your body. You don't want to induce contractions or cause things to want to remove what Yah has placed there. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of already said it about just high fruit, lots of vegetables. You can eliminate the grains. You can eliminate the, sugars are grains, and replace it with still, there's plenty of, the main thing they tell you when you're pregnant, make sure you're eating your fruits and vegetables. Those are the most things your body needs. The vegetables build. So just, slowly transition, remove those things that you can, and your body's going to be in a healthy state, and your baby's still going to get what it needs. You're going to get what it needs. And then I know, like, there are some, like your multivitamins, the mineral defense, is still, I take prenatals that I like. It's all, I guess, vegan, natural ingredients, and you can find off Amazon or the mineral defense, and it's going to replenish what you need that you may think you were getting somewhere else. But like they said, meats and dairies and grains is not providing your body with nutrients. Meat does have protein, but it's not giving you your vitamins, your minerals that you need. Does that answer your question?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, if you want to, yeah, we eat meat sparingly, and truth be told, there's people. There's a carnivore diet where people eat nothing but meat. You know what I'm saying? So like, people try to point the finger at meat, say meat's the problem, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? So I say like I said, we eat meat very sparingly. But if you're looking for something to replace that, like I said, the body doesn't need protein, it needs amino acids. Amino acids are in your fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. And if, like I said, if you're looking to bulk up, you know, you do the alfalfa sprouts. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, a lot of the meats, processed meats they have available, there are grains in it. They put wheat protein, they put corn, they put sugar in the meat. So there are brands that we use that, like for turkey bacon and things like that, if you still want it, that they sell it without those things. They just have the meat and like seasoning. So you could still have the meat, you know, in moderation, but make sure you're getting the best quality of meat. Like make sure you're checking your labels to see what's in there and things like that. And I believe Sister
I just wanted to tell a testimony. A lot of y'all have probably heard it, but I see a lot of new faces in here, and I just hope that it blesses somebody first and foremost, and just glorifies Yah and His kingdom as well. When I came into the truth, I was extremely sick. I had debilitating migraines. I had type 2 diabetes, cirrhosis, HSV, hepatitis B. The list literally goes on and on. High cholesterol, high blood pressure. I mean, I can literally, I can't think of everything that I had to tell you right now. My blood work had never been normal in my adult life. I'm 40 years old. I know first and foremost that Yah put me under the leadership of Brother Michael to help me in healing. He did the healing, but to help guide me as well. The first thing I came and asked Brother Michael for healing for was diabetic neuropathy. I could not feel my feet for 3 to 5 years before the healing, and it was starting to go up above my ankles. So I would have numbness from my knees down, and completely numb from my ankles down. My toes I couldn't feel, like they were just non-existent for years. And Brother Michael said, you need to eat a lot of berries. He's like, go on all fruit fast, but try to stay on berries. And that's what I did. Within the first, he had me on a little bit of herbs, like a herbal tea blend. I don't really remember what it was. But within 6 months, I was completely healed, not of type 2 diabetes, but of diabetic neuropathy. I could feel my toes for the first time in years. It was absolutely beautiful. But there was other things that I needed to heal from. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All praises to Yah. There was other things that I needed to heal from, other really major things. And as the years progressed, I've lived with the Israel household for almost, I think, going on 4 years now, maybe 3 years. Okay, so I have been healed of everything except for one thing that I'm still petitioning healing from. My blood work this year, around Passover, was the first time everything was normal in my whole adult life. Hallelujah. The ailment that I'm still healing from, or that the doctors, claim that I have, I don't claim that I have it personally. When I go to get blood work, I should be taking hundreds of medicines, pills. I should not be able to get out of the bed right now, according to them, because of my blood work, because of what the papers say. But I am the healthiest that I have ever been in my entire life right now. the healthiest. I still have detox symptoms. I have some detox symptoms every once in a while, but I am literally the healthiest I have ever been. And I think, first of all, the Most High, you know, for bringing me here, for healing me. And it's not only, again, to just back up what Brother Michael said in the beginning of what he was talking about, it's not only the fruit diet or the grain-free diet. It's not only the herbs you take, but it is your mindset. Because over these years that I have been doing the fruit fast, I actually didn't get healing from type 2 diabetes until I went and sat in the deliverance chair and asked my sisters to call out the spirit of diabetes. And my next blood work, it was gone. So build your faith and your belief in the Most High, and then look at who He is putting in front of you as examples, because He's blessing you with this knowledge. He's already blessed you with bringing you to the truth, but He's blessing you with great leadership to point you in a good direction. Be obedient. Hallelujah.
All right. So we have to be out of here by 12. So go ahead. Yeah.
Bless you. For people like myself, I travel all the time. So I'm either in an airplane around a lot of people, or I'm real close to people where I work. During the whole pandemic, most of those people took the jab, and so I'm around them all the time. And so I started taking your respiratory, and I noticed I had some, like, my sheets came out white. They weren't white when I laid down, so whatever I was sweating. But so person like myself who travels all the time, what do you recommend far as, you know, I can't, like, take fruits and berries and stuff with me. So what would be your recommendation?
You got to be like a grazing cow or something. You got to eat when you can, and otherwise intermittently fast. Like we've, myself and Sister Corey, we've lived like that because there's a season there where we were doing a lot of traveling, and yeah, that's what I'll do. If there's nothing good to eat, I just won't eat. And that's actually better for you too fast, because then your body can repair itself. And something you got to keep in mind, you can go like 30 days without eating anything. You got to ask yourself, why you eat breakfast at 7, why are you hungry at 12? That what you think, oh, I'm hungry, that you're not hungry, that's an addiction. That's a craving you're getting. It's not hunger. Because a lot of times, if I'm busy, I don't eat till 3 o'clock. Like, when I come out here and work on Pastor's house, I have 2 watermelon juices in a jar and some water, and that's all I have all day till I get home and eat dinner. And it really don't bother me now. So you really gotta look at this for real. It's like we've conditioned ourselves into just grabbing something as soon as we feel something. We gotta work on going longer without eating. And you'd be surprised, because you can get yourself into you could develop a good habit of just not eating. I know in the early stages when we were starting our business in telecom, like we'd get out there to the work site and we wouldn't eat nothing. That's me, Brother Umbry, Brother Chris, Brother Emmanuel. We just go out there, start working, wouldn't eat nothing. We wouldn't even take a break. Because for some reason when you're not eating, you got even more energy and you more focused. But you'll feel your stomach will be kind of growling. But we just go out there and work hard from like 8 in the morning all the way to like 6 in the afternoon to when we get home, and then we'd eat and just go to bed, and it became a habit. we got a ton of work done, and we built the business up. So and eventually it was just the way we didn't like eating because we saw we could go harder if we didn't. But now, the way my diet is now, like I said, I'm drinking juices and teas and eating fruit throughout the day, then I eat my dinner. And that's very comfortable to do, too, once you get into the habit of doing it. So anything else?
Hallelujah. So I just want to add to that, because this lifestyle isn't convenient, because if it was easy, everybody would be able to do it, right? So it does take a lot of planning and preparation, and that's where you're going to get results. Especially, like my husband was just saying that, he had to learn how to just fast because he likes to eat. He's a very hearty eater at that. But he has learned to just fast. Now, if you're still trying to learn how to, intermittently fast, pack the cooler. Get up early in the morning. I get up early in the morning. When he comes out and works on the land, I get up early in the morning, and I get him the fresh watermelon juice, grapes, oranges, grapefruits, and he takes it with him. It just takes extra work, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it because your health is everything, right? So planning and preparation is key.
And the thing is, especially for us, the way we work now, because now we eat more fruit. We don't just go the whole day without eating. But for us, the way we run in the Straitway Studio Assembly, we get after it. Man, the fruit is the most convenient food because it has its water, it has the substance, it's just all right there, and you can just, boom, grab it and go and throw it down. So, makes sense. Yep, appreciate you, bro. But, so the other thing, if any of you brothers and sisters want to buy any herbs, Sister Koya, if you go to our tent over here, our tent area is right here on top of the hill. You'll see like a red tent over there. She'll be set up over there if y'all want to buy any herbs or anything, or if you have any other questions that you want to ask or anything like that. Hold on. Tess. Here.
One last thing, my master said that we were going to talk about different meals that we eat in the community. Well, we've made it very easy for you all. It's on our website at www.householdherbs.com, and it's a free download, grain-free detox guide. It's absolutely amazing, and it will help you with grains to avoid, approved grain-free flours. There's a whole guide and a list of things that you need to eliminate and a list of things that you should go out and buy that you can have. Okay, that's all.
All right, so that's it. If any of y'all got any questions, I'm here. So y'all just come up and ask me or whatever, but I just want to make sure if they got something else they got to do here, we're done now. So whatever, I think they got something going on, but I need to be done by 12, and it's 12. So, all right, bless y'all.
Bless y'all.